Reporting live from Dudesseldorf, it's the news with Mike Dawson.
We'll start with a really small amount of personal news. I opened my front door this morning, and the vinyl for my record just arrived.
Oh, so you came home after poisoning Gina Grad.
That's right.
So that you get
So
your
I can
hands
do
on a
this.
Microphone.
Exactly.
We wouldn't
Plug
let
your
you
vinyl.
mention it.
Exactly. So
It was
anyway,
good. Congratulations.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
man.
That's very exciting.
Can people go somewhere to get it yet?
Yeah, I just go to thesmokingkills.com, and we'll be playing at the Viper Room on April 27th. I'll have some there for sale.
Nice.
All right. Let's start with some NFL news. It appears Tom Brady never had any intention of retiring. There was actually, he had cooked up this scheme that he was going to become a minority owner for the Miami Dolphins. That was going to leverage him into getting out of his contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then he was going to become the Dolphins quarterback. But the whole thing went down the tubes
Or Tua?
as soon as the Brian Flores lawsuit
Oh, really?
came out. So we
Interesting.
would have seen Tom Brady in a Miami Dolphins uniform, if not
Wow.
for that lawsuit.
This is all about Giselle wanting to live in Miami versus Tampa.
Sure.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
It's a good steakhouse. You been to Burns in Tampa?
No.
It's the size of a city block, Adam.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
Bigger's always better when it comes to steakhouses.
My mom did meet my biological dad there, though, so we have some history. They love meat. Yeah, no.
It's called Burns.
Burns, damn good. Shout out. They don't need the shout out, but shout out Burns.
It's named for how it goes down.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Cam Newton's in the news.
Oh, yeah.
He
got
pissed
into
off some
trouble.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cam.
He says that women should cater to a man's needs, saying that his ideal partner should know how to cook and when to be quiet. We have a video.
Should we feign being
We
disgusted?
do not have a video of this.
Well, we secretly agree.
He says his experience at home is he grew up with a mother and father.
I'm with the cooking. I'm with him with the cooking part. I will say this too. He got, the white guy being racist, and you kind of go, he's set in his ways, like the older guy.
Sure.
He gets a little bit of an out, or he got a little bit out when they just go, he's from the South. For some reason, that becomes you can't pull that off if you're from Encino.
Sure.
But from the South, you go, give him a pass. He's from the South.
He's a beautiful 6'5" multimillionaire. I think he can have those standards if he wants.
Is he? But he's not successfully married. I think that's the moral of the story.
He's got time.
Yeah, I think he's got time.
Well, we'll hear what he has to say.
Take a little bit of this.
So I'm not one of these dudes that be like, bro, I'm gutter, I'm this, I'm that. Man, I had a perfect example of what a man was in my life by my father. My parents has been together for 36, 37 years now, and it's a beautiful thing. I grew up in a 3-parent household, my mom, my father, and my grandmother. And I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch.
Okay, what's the difference?
A woman.
Okay.
A bad bitch is a person who's just, girl, I'm a bad bitch. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the
quite a
part,
picture.
but I don't act the part.
Okay.
And it's a lot of women who are bad bitches, and I say bitches in a way not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic
if you
of
will,
what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that, no, baby, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
No, a lot of women,
enough.
now the kickback of that is be quiet. I'm going to be quiet for
Cam sounds like a guy without an active contract.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
He does not have a home in the NFL.
He is a free agent right now. He started 5 games for the Carolina Panthers last season, went 0-5. So we'll see. I don't think this is going to help. This is not the first time he's got in trouble with women.
I gotta say this. I would watch. My favorite part of news, or even just the visual media is it's never the person who's saying the insane thing. It's the person sitting next to them. I like to focus on that person.
Right.
For a long time, it was the bobbing heads at CNN when somebody would go, we got to close down these schools so these kids, they're without masks. They live with the decrepit and the elderly. And they'd just be sitting there like nodding their head, probably disagreeing with most of it, but you got to do it. I'm not interested in the person that says what they say. It's not, David Mamet's talking about male school teachers being pedophiles or something. It's the person that sits next to them going, okay,
tell me more.
All right,
Interesting,
there you go. Because there's always a little, they want to yes and, they want to join in, but on the other hand, their spidey sense is tingling that something is happening here, and I don't really want to get caught up and be collateral damage. Billy Bush didn't know the mics were hot when he was on with the Donald. So when he's talking about grabbing pussy, he's like, I'm a main man. But when you're mic'd up and the cameras are on you, you have to figure out, like, do I go, oh, that's disgusting. Come on. My mother would never be. Or do you kind of, he's smoking
which
weed.
way is the wind blowing
He's
right
got
now?
he's 7 inches taller than you. He's Cam Newton.
I think there's a small part of it, too, where if you're the interviewer, maybe not Billy Bush, but if you're the guy interviewing Cam or David Mamet, it's good for your show to keep them talking. Like, you're going to get clips played all over.
Right. Well, back in 2017, and this is kind of funny, Cam was criticized for laughing at a female reporter's question.
Oh, right.
And he said, it's just funny to hear a female talk about roots.
Oh, routes. Yeah,
Routes,
passing
routes,
routes.
routes.
Yeah.
Now, females, especially of color, can talk about the series Roots. But,
Timely.
but routes. Now, I was watching that, and it was being trotted out as an example of his misogyny. But I also think if she was talking about running a post or a banana or waggle or a drag route, stop and go, like, it would be weird to have a chick talking real routes, like in terms of you've never heard it before.
Right.
And so if he's saying it that way, it's not quite as offensive.
But it's so clear that he's, God bless him, no shade, that perhaps might not currently be in a super successful relationship. Because I know that when I wanted, like, when I got on that track to get married and all my buddies were getting married, I'm like, I can't be this guy. Like, I can't be the fifth wheel at these double dates. Sucks. And I was also dating who would become my wife, and I was like, I'm with the right person. Anytime we would have a fight or anytime we would just have sort of like a natural conflict, I would look to my friends with good relationships for advice, because my single buddies would be like, you got to hold the line, my friend.
Kick that bitch to the curb.
And I'd be like, you haven't been, like, I've never seen you with anyone ever. And my married friends would be like, did you try shutting up? Like, did you try
listening?
Yeah, exactly.
Cam was smoking weed there, right?
Likely.
Well, no, didn't he?
Or was it a cigar?
puffed
I think he
something.
was smoking a cigar.
Hard to tell these days.
I don't think, I mean, he's probably obviously trying to get an NFL contract. You can't be smoking weed on a podcast with video.
Right.
Well,
I would say it's a cigar.
okay. He seems comfortable. Maybe it is a. Maybe
He
it
He
is a
just
cigar.
puffed on it. He just puffed on it.
Oh,
He's
okay.
not
Yeah, it
smoking
looks
a
like a
joint.
stogie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
As someone who knows. That is
Sorry.
not.
And I should confess that was a cultural faux pas by me when a guy's wearing a velvet fedora and 7 scarves.
It's not always weed
and
out
a man of color, and I think weed over cigar.
Yeah.
That's me. Sorry, I got caught up.
This is us going, oh, yeah, no, totally.
It appears that we have the video of Cam Newton saying that it's funny to hear a woman talk about routes. Let's hear that.
I know you take a lot of pride in seeing your receivers play well. Devin Funchess has seemed to really embrace the physicality of his routes and getting those extra yards. Does that give you a little bit of an enjoyment to see him kind of truck sticking people out there?
It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Like, it's funny.
Oof.
He's got a little Michael Jackson to him in that he probably hasn't been that involved with reality since he was 14.
I was saying, he was highly recruited, as you can imagine, out of, I think it was Auburn, Alabama. He chose Auburn. There was supposedly some money involved, but yes, he's had a very public life since teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He seems like he was exceptional from jump.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have an update on the New York City subway shooting situation. They have arrested the alleged shooter. Apparently, he was seen at a McDonald's in Manhattan. People called the police. Police went to that McDonald's. He wasn't there, but they searched the surrounding area and picked him up.
Found him.
Here's the funny thing. I realized the guy's name is Frank James.
Oh, really?
And in about 175 years, 2 guys named Frank James shot people on trains.
Also, legendary porn star Frank James.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Did he shoot people on
He
trains?
shoot people on trains.
88 to 94.
His gun did go off quite a bit. I will tell you that. Frank James, legendary, like in the Ron Jeremy department.
Classic.
Yeah.
OG.
Big
Let's get a picture of
honker,
Frank James.
big mustache.
Sure.
Like to drink a little too much. Ron told me Frank liked to drink a little too much. But
Turns out that's my biological dad, Frank James.
I have many thoughts on this story. There he is.
Not far off.
The great Frank James.
Nice pants.
So, not for nothing. Chris just wrote that on the screen. I wouldn't have known. So here's my... Here's some rules. Here's some thoughts, as I've been following this story too. Now, we're living in a new world order where we're not allowed to bring up the race of the person if you write for the LA Times or the New York Times or whatever. You're just not allowed. If it's a black person, you can't say black man, gun down, blah, blah, blah. We don't do that. Chris, you can look for some of the early stuff, but they wouldn't say the race of the guy. They'd say the race if he was white, obviously, but they're not going to say it if he's black because they don't go that way, and they have a narrative, and this is bad for the narrative. So, but I think I have to carve out some exceptions. If the black guy is already apprehended, then New York Times, you don't need to include his race. But if he's in fact a fugitive, and we're looking for him,
identifying him,
then you can't just say 5'5" guy. All the stories is he's 5'5",
of course,
heavy build,
right,
and he's wearing a green construction vest, which I'm guessing he removed at some point. So probably be a bad idea looking for a guy in a reflective vest because I guess he was posing as a guy, and then when he got out, he probably ditched that.
Just for public safety, wouldn't it make sense to narrow your search down?
I would say they don't do that anymore, and also. I would also say that New York Times or CNN or whoever, you are allowed to say the race of the fugitive if the black woman who's the police commissioner or whoever actually gives a press conference and says we're looking for a black male with a construction vest.
Now it's off you.
She's off you. Yeah. You're just quoting what she's saying. We're in such weird, fucked up times that we won't even give the race, even if we're looking for the person. And by the way, he's wearing a hard hat, a construction vest. He's got smoke bombs. I'm thinking this guy's like a big fan of Ted Nugent. You know what I mean? This feels very white militia-y, whatever.
Yeah,
stuff.
That's description.
Yeah.
But isn't it interesting, like in this day and age, like is the best remedy to find a criminal for them to just immediately let the public be the arm of the detectives? Because like even, didn't we help with Brian Landry? Like nobody's safe if in this day and age, if there are photos on everyone's phone and you're looking out for him at your local McDonald's.
My guess is that for public safety, you have an active shooter potentially on the loose. You want to alert people to be on the lookout for this guy. Not supposed to apprehend him, but to watch out.
Yeah,
that's
give
my
him
guess.
tips.
Yeah,
but like, is anyone say? I mean, I feel like more than ever, it's like if you put that in someone's phone, everyone suddenly you've got millions of people on the force.
Right.
They didn't, and all the cameras were down in the subway, which is like, what the fuck? It's the subway. Where are the cops? Where are the cameras? Like, what? I thought we were gonna beef this whole thing up. Like, what happened? New York City? What's going on? Where are you guys? What year is it?
I was in New York recently, and I was in Times Square, and there were cops everywhere, but it's Times Square. And like, I would imagine this train in Brooklyn maybe just doesn't get the same sort of notice from. Yeah.
Well, it will now.
Well, Frank James is going to be charged in federal court with committing an act of terrorism. If convicted, he faces life in prison. Here's some terrible news, especially for people who were going to get on an airplane on April 30th and fly to Orlando and really stoked that the mask mandate was going to be gone by then. Nope. The CDC added 15 more days.
Fuck you, pussies.
Fuck you.
Fuck off. You have all the heads of the fucking airlines telling you it's not a vector of transmission. And by the way, eating between bites is zero mask. It's zero. That's a non-mask application of a mask. It doesn't work that way with masks. It doesn't work that way with condoms. It doesn't work that way with almost that scuba gear. Yeah, you can go down to 10 fathoms, then you can pull the hood off. And then, but when you're at 15, you got to snap it right back up. You see a fucking starfish, you got to get that regulator turned back on. Fuck you fucking retards. There should be just a fucking revolt. Just don't do it. Yeah. Don't fucking do it. Wake up, fucking pussies and cowards. Don't wear the fucking mask. Make them tell the fucking entire plane to do it. Just fucking don't do it. 2-year-olds on an airplane? How miserable would you be if you had to travel cross country with a 2.5-year-old?
Without the mask, it's miserable. I can only imagine with.
Right.
Why do they have to fucking keep clinging to the fucking theater?
Well, it was supposed to end on March 24th. Then they changed it to April 18th. And now 15 more days. But the airlines are pissed.
They should be, because they're causing so much friction with the flying public and the fucking the stewardess, or the Cam Newton would call him a stewardess. A flight attendants would have to argue with everyone on the whole fucking flight. Like they don't want to do that. Their job's hard enough. They don't want to have to enforce something that doesn't make sense. The fucking pilots aren't wearing them. The guys that are flying the plane aren't wearing them. It's fucking over. Moving on. Jesus Christ.
In a letter to the CDC, those wanting the mask mandate to disappear said, it makes no sense that people are still required to wear masks on airplanes, yet people are allowed to congregate in crowded restaurants, schools, and at sporting events without masks, despite none of these venues having the protective air filtration system that aircraft do.
If it was being spread via aircraft, don't you think we'd know it by now?
Yeah.
180 people mashed into seats, banging elbows.
We should be dead.
You've never been closer to anybody than on an airplane. Right. The airplane is the opposite of everything they've been telling you to do. And it's not a vector transmission. They won't fucking let it go. And I don't get it. But the airplane is the adult version of the schools. You see, you need these symbolic beacons to scare the fuck out of the populace so you can control them. Schools are perfect for the kids. Scare the fucking frail-brained moms, freak everyone out, freak the kids out, all the fucking damage and drugs and suicide and everything that's caused. You don't give a fuck about that. So control the schools, and then airlines are the adult version of control. And as long as you can't, as long as the schools can't do the mask, as long as the airline, then it's always with us. Because it's always a reminder. It's so symbolic at this fucking point. People just have to reject it. I have no idea what happened to everyone. This country fucking scares me and all the fucking lemming sheep pussies that inhabit it. It's sad.
Have you guys worn the Lululemon masks, though?
They have them?
It's made out of their sports bra material. It's lovely. Sort of hugs
I'm going to try that out.
Really?
Lovely. Yeah, it's really...
I was watching...
forget you're wearing them.
I was watching... Well...
Feels better than not wearing one.
Listen, just... asking between bites. Does anyone realize? Does anyone see the insanity of this fucking world? Is anyone woken up to this? Max Bad, did you find any of those headlines I was talking about?
I found one. Sorry,
I think there was early. It was like New York Times.
Well, most things they just say they took the description from the police, who they described the suspected shooter as a man about 5 feet 5 inches tall, 170 pounds, wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt in addition to a green vest, and that's all they gave out.
That's right, but that's not what she said. Oh. She said black man.
Oh,
what I'm saying.
Okay.
Either way. All
right. You hear about this? The California mother allegedly faked her own kidnapping.
No, I think I did hear about this.
No, she just struck a plea deal. It was a hoax. Sherry Papini, we'll put a picture of her up.
I think you should fake your own kidnapping, not for the money, but just for the sort of, hey, I'm worth kidnapping.
I'm in demand, yeah.
I mean, who gets, Patty Hearst gets kidnapped, these legendary heiresses and things like that. You
Or
know,
something.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra's kid.
Someone gonna pay to get
you know what I
back,
mean?
yeah.
It's why it was good I was overweight as a kid, because like less chance.
Hard to get you in a trunk.
Yeah, no fucking way we latching
need an
that thing.
SUV.
You need a F-150.
I mean, we could put a bungee cord on it and flag you. We
flag
ain't
you.
shutting it.
Red flag dangling.
Oh, I feel so bad for my former self.
I wish he were here. I bet
Me
he'd have a
too.
laugh.
It's a good time.
Wow, all right.
Well, she disappeared for 22 days to go screw her ex-boyfriend. But what eventually happened was she's like, oh, shit, what am I going to do? And so she beat herself up a little bit.
A lot more editorializing in this news.
Yeah.
Beat herself up a little bit and then
Oh, like
told
physically
police.
bruised herself?
Yes. She showed up 22 days later in Woodland, about 140 miles south of Reading, where she's from, with a brand on her right shoulder, bindings on her body, a swollen nose, and some other injuries. At the time, she told police 2 Hispanic women abducted her and held her against her will.
You know, if you got to beat yourself up and you don't want to physically beat yourself up because that's difficult and painful, I would use one of those cuppers. You know the guys who do the work on your back?
Yes,
and they
Chrissy does that.
put the cup on your back and it leaves that black and blue circle.
It looks like a fucking twister board.
Yeah.
There's just circles everywhere.
You get that person. Well, first off, it's very relaxing. And obviously you're having a stressful day because you faked your own abduction. You don't have to ball up your fist and punch yourself in the face. Few well-placed cups.
Perfectly circular.
Well, now, Brian, hold on. First off, why they have to be round? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why can't we make some look like a shiner?
Or fist,
You know what
knuckles.
I mean? Fist, knuckle, class ring. And just, put them sort of strategically around the left orbital socket, another one on the forehead just peeking out from the hairline.
Smart.
There. No one's going to accuse you of self-cupping.
It's a perfect crime.
Absurd. Who would do that?
Put a cluster of them together on your upper arm. That's where he grabbed me. That's where he
like a
grabbed me.
dead arm
That's where
cup.
he dragged me into the van.
Yeah, smart.
Right?
And they last for a while. As
They
long
do.
as a normal
They do.
bruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I get the big bucks.
They can't catch you a week later. It's still there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's fitting a little bit, but still.
It would work.
This is your legacy.
They should come out with a whole line of domestic abuse cups.
It's perfect.
You know what I mean? Ones that look like sort of half moon shiner under the eye.
Ace Award nominee for sure.
Yeah. Put some, work some shoelaces into them. Like, he kicked me.
Oh my God.
He fucking threw a spinning heel kick, but caught me in the ribs. Look at this. Pull up the shirt.
Oh yeah, you need long, thin ones like you've been thrashed. You know what I mean? With a stick or something.
Yeah. Show that rib cage,
Stairs.
wince a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like the class ring. It says division champs backwards.
Yeah, he was a blue chip prospect. Nice taking his anger out on me.
Well,
Nobody's ever going to. Gloria Allred is not going to go. She'll take your case, right? I'm just going to go. That's obvious cupping.
Right.
Smollett needed this.
Not since my condom with the birthmark built into it have I had a better idea, I think, in terms of fooling the public at large.
The fact that NBA teams don't give those out to their players en masse is shocking to me. The condom.
You wear this, Josh? If you get a condom and you have a birthmark on the condom,
Printed,
then she will identify your dick wrong.
Wow.
Yeah.
They had the state of
It's
Florida
a
right there
great
winking
invention.
at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, she faces up to 5 years in prison.
But with the
and 20
NBA
years for mail fraud.
With the NBA baller,
Mail fraud.
now what I do is I put a little Tabasco in the spent condom,
Like Drake the rapper.
Well, like me, he stole that.
Oh, he got that from
Well,
you?
fucking Drake's 34. I'm 57.
All right.
Okay?
Do the math.
So I've been at the
Seniority.
Tabasco condom game a lot longer than fucking Drake. He was still in the wheelchair in Canada when I was
Great.
doing this shit.
Degrassi.
Okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get that straight.
Sorry.
Number one. But number two, when they pull the condom off and they see the birthmark on the condom, that's not good. So you have to Tabasco it and then flush it down. Oh no, just flush it down the toilet.
They'll take care of almost everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Dawson.
No, that's all right. Since she had the plea deal, the prosecutors are going to recommend that she does the low end of the time, whether she does any time at all.
Mail fraud. She sent a postcard from her kidnapper.
You know, it doesn't detail how mail fraud is in this, but yeah, facing 20 years for mail fraud, 5 for lying to the FBI.
Maybe they mean like mail, like the hostage taker was a male, and that's a fraud.
Maybe.
Well, it's always mail. It's always mail fraud or racketeering. Like the IRS catches more bad guys than anybody else.
Yeah, wire
right?
fraud, mail fraud.
Yes.
It's the easiest to prove.
Yeah.
It's like, I got it right here.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah.
I played a U.S. Marshal in this TV show. I did a remake of Turner and Hooch because I'm the king of remakes.
Really?
Which one did you play?
Exactly. I was the ampersand. Actually, I was the end. And so I played a U.S. Marshal. So I went on these, like, I hung out with real, proper U.S. Marshals. This guy, Scott Samuels, and their big thing was whenever I'd be like, what do you guys think of the FBI? And they're like, it's cool if you want to be an accountant.
Wow. Like, a lot of paperwork.
Yeah. They were like, you're doing a lot of like accounting forensics. Because I think they get annoyed that the FBI obviously are dope in their own right, but they just have such good publicity, and the U.S. Marshals don't get the same shine.
Yeah.
They got that one Tommy Lee Jones movie.
That's right.
That's it.
My shit.
Awesome.
Well, guess who's in what?
You got another one?
Yeah, I guess who's engaged again?
Let's see. I
Chris.
watched TMZ. Oh, J-Lo.
J-Lo.
Yeah. They make
Look at
fun of me
you.
for watching TMZ,
Yes,
but
we
who's
do.
up on all the action?
Wow.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez shared details on how exactly her second engagement to Ben Affleck happened. She says she was totally taken off guard. She was in her bubble bath. He got on one knee
Oh, boy.
and popped the ring. And then she was speechless, she says. And he said, "Is that a yes?" And she said, "Yes, of course it's a yes." So they're getting married, and why we care, I don't know, but it popped up in the news. By the way, the ring.
It's green. It's a green diamond.
Where's the price on
An
it?
emerald?
I don't know. It's like a 7 carat. I don't know if there's such a thing as a green diamond, but
Well, they can grow
green.
colored diamonds.
She's not going cultured, Brian.
I thought
Jesus
somewhere in
Christ.
here it said the
That was
price
more
of the ring, but
responsible.
the first engagement ring was a pink diamond worth between 1.2 and 2.5 million.
It's a lot of rain.
That's a lot of range.
Yeah.
You can't
narrow
nail
it
this down?
Right.
This guy should open a car dealership. The Camry, it's either $30,000 or $85,000 somewhere.
Yeah, we'll find a place.
Narrow it down. You're a jewelry expert.
Right.
All right, it's a green emerald diamond, whatever it is. She's happy. I do feel like he wants to smoke and drink a beer on occasion, though, but he doesn't want to do it in front of her.
Yeah, or he's sober. Yeah, he can't do it.
Yeah, but there she is.
She's awful pretty.
She is.
No, time has been
is.
kind.
Does not age.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, maybe that's why we care.
All right, let's do one more, Dawson.
Oh,
You have one more.
Yeah. Did you hear Logan Paul broke his hand? I'm not sure when this has happened. Last year, he was drunk in Germany, and he saw one of those boxing machines.
Oh,
And he's like, I'm going to
missed.
fuck this thing up.
He used to
And,
have one of those.
Yeah.
and the bar owner said, hey, there's a cement post right next to that thing. And you know, some people have hit their hands on it.
Let me ask this German bar owner. Did you build the bar around the punching machine, or did you place it next to the fucking cement post, you idiot?
Yeah.
Just like
Cut
this.
to Gustav, like,
Minimum 3 other corners where that could live.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a column positioned right next to the game that had resulted in several broken hands in the past. And Logan said to the guy, I'm a boxer. And then he took a swing at it. He said, I'm not going to hit the fucking wall. And then on his third attempt, he hit the wall, broke his hand. He thought it was going to be career ending because now he's, in the ring quite a bit. And, well, it appears that it wasn't. His hand healed. But now he's talking about it. And
I get when people point out bad steps. Like they go, that last step's a longer drop. They always put some reflective tape on it or something. They get verbal. You know, they go, it's bad. Because it's hard to change the treads and the risers and the stringers and the runs. I used to be a carpenter, but that's a big remod. Moving the punching machine 14 inches further away from the post, I feel like that's doable.
Totally doable.
Very doable.
Yeah, especially if people are breaking their hands already.
I think there's a lawsuit here. I think this guy enjoys it.
Yeah.
Sees these snotty, ugly Americans coming in there.
YouTuber.
Licking up, getting them a whole boot of stout, you know, getting them good liquored up and then walking them over and then planting the seed.
Hey, you like the box?
Yeah. Like it's like the people you go, look out for that pothole, and they actually steer toward it. Like you plant the seed with the post.
The most upsetting part of this is that it was his third attempt. Like, doesn't the novelty wear off after the first? Like, what are we doing, Logan?
He really wanted to get the highest score.
I'll guarantee somebody had that high score. And he wanted that. He wanted that high score.
So I said it was very depressing and obviously embarrassing. But he will return to the ring, boxing ring this year.
He's going to get paid. I mean, between the Pauls and the Kardashians, I mean, there's some staying power with these reality guys now.
You're saying they're on a collision course in the ring?
Yes. I mean, he's going to get some big money fights.
It's a draw.
And it's a perfect alchemy because he finds guys, you know, Mike Tyson or whoever's name, they all would like a multi-million-dollar payday. For them, it's, you know, fairly light lifting. Everyone recognizes the name. The talent level is kind of worked out by the 31-year age gap, you know, and we'll meet in the middle. The catch weight that they used to have in boxing, you know, have a guy, he's a light heavyweight, and the other guy's a cruiserweight. Yeah. And so it's like 176 and 195. So we'll meet at the catch weight at 189 or 105 or 175, whatever it is. The catch weight now is the age. You can't fight 29-year-old Mike Tyson, but you could fight 54-year-old Mike Tyson if you're 27. The catch weight is the age now.
But and now Logan knows what German painkillers feel like, right?
Yeah.
Which is nice. Add that to the CV.
It's never coming back.
You know what would have been the baddest ass move? I'll tell you what I would have done. I would have hit that big pillar, taken the whole fucking building down. Yeah. That's my move.
Van Damme.
Punched out a post and been crushed. That'd be the baddest ass story in the world, right?
Say bye to your bar, Gustav.
That's right. Boom. You missed the bag. I wasn't trying to hit the bag, Gustav. Right. I know what your grandfather did.
The last word from under a girder.
This one's for Josh Beck.
All right, let's bring it home.
All right. Catch me this Sunday at Flappers. I'll be doing some comedy on stage, telling some Easter jokes. Tickets at Flappers Comedy. And listen to the Water Cooler Podcast. I'm Mike Dawson. That is the news.
Don't worry, Gina. Your job is safe. That was the news with Mike Dawson.
All right. You can see me. I'll be in Indianapolis at Helium Comedy Club May 6th and 7th. We'll do live pod. We'll do stand-up there. Huntington Beach, Sea Lakes, we're doing a live pod there May 20th. You just go to amcarolla.com for all the live shows. I got a book coming out called Everything Reminds Me of Something, and you can get that. You can pre-order it now if you like. Also, Andrew Whitworth. Well, he just came on to say hi, but Instagram him at Andrew Whitworth77. Josh Peck, this has been fun.
Thank you, guys. This was awesome.
Happy People Are Annoying available on Amazon now or any place you buy finer books. And until next time, the Sam Carolla for Andrew Whitworth, Josh Peck, and Dawson and Bald say it. Mahalo. Patty Hearst gets kidnapped, you know, these legendary heiresses and things like that, you know.
Something.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra's kid.
Somebody got paid to get
you know what
back.
I mean?
Yeah.
It's why it was good I was overweight as a kid, because, like, less chance.
Hard to get you in a trunk.
Yeah, no fucking way we latching that
SUV.
thing.
You need an F-150.
I mean, we can put a